Joined by Arizona head coach Jay Johnson. Sean Fagan, you're up first.
Hey, Coach. So I was wondering if you'd be able to sum up the game from start to finish, from that intentional walk on Elko all the way to Dante's bases clearing RBI double that in essence put the game away.
I might bore you if I went through all of that detail. But, Gonzalez came out ready to hit, smoked a double, and it was on. If our guys didn't know it was going to be a battle, they learned pretty quickly. So tip your hat to him. Ole Miss is on TV more than any program in the country, maybe except LSU or Vanderbilt. And so I see them play all the time. I mean, just in general. And then in our scouting, Elko, he's on fire right now. He's like, almost Babe Ruth like in terms of impact that he's had on games. So coming in, he wasn't going to beat us. And so we had an open base, and we made a decision to walk him. It obviously didn't work because Bench and McCants took two really good at bats. So that was that. Dante, answered the bell right back, lead off homer right there, which was great to get us going. We got a couple more guys on base in that inning. They got a double play ball. But I like the sustained pressure. I thought we took really quality at bats. I thought we took at bats in character tonight and really didn't let up. I think we only had 2 innings that we didn't score in. If I don't have a box in front of me, but that feels like we only didn't score in 2 innings. So
You're right.
really good job by the offense in providing pressure. I think the story of the game was Chase Silseth buckling his chin strap after the original punch in the gut and getting us 3 more innings. And then we made the matchup move with Riley, and he did what Riley does and came in and executed at a high level. Big at bat by Jacob there in the middle of the game. Tony Bullard, you'll talk to him, but he took his professional at bats and as you possibly can, helped us separate, and then really great 8th inning there, and a lot of guys contributed to that and set the stage for Dante to do what he does. There's nobody playing better baseball right now in the country than Dante Williams and Tony Bullard, and so pitchers, bullpen, Dawson, Vince did a nice job. Focus was great, and we're on to tomorrow.
And then just really quickly, Coach, if you wouldn't mind just elaborating on Tully Bullard, just probably one of the biggest talks in the game right now. And then tonight, just 2 home runs. Just what could you say to his emergence as a player, just almost as you could say, like out of nowhere, to be one of the best now in the tournament, arguably?
Yeah, Tony's a stud. I've mentioned it several times. He was maybe one of the first big recruits that we landed, I think, in about a week's time. In the summer of 2015, we got Preston, we got Dante, and we got Tony. I actually think Dante and Tony visited on the same day. Is that right, Tony? Yeah. And we thought he'd be a 2-way player. He was a really good pitcher as well. Had a good freshman season for us. Rough start last year, but I think he went to work. And when he wasn't in the lineup for a period of time this year, there was no moping, feeling sorry for himself. He knew he had to get better, put in the right kind of work, and I can't remember I believe it was against Utah or USC. There was a couple at bats where it looked like he found something and like all that work had started to click, and then he realized he's as good as I think he is, and now he carries himself that way and he takes those types of at bats. And I'm the least surprised person probably of anybody.
Michael Lev, go ahead.
Not that you want to fall behind in a game, but it happened a week ago and you were able to rally. You've rallied several times during the season. Do you think those experiences helped you tonight?
Yeah, for sure. We were totally poised. I thought, Chase really wanted to come out and set a good tone. I actually thought he pitched pretty good, to be honest with you. There's a couple mistakes. It never really got off the rails for him, though. So I'm really proud of him. I'm proud of the team's response. With that being said, again, I'm not surprised. We want to play in character. That's something that's really important to me. And I thought it was just another example of the character of our team.
Sure. Chase, it seemed like he featured his breaking ball a little bit more tonight. Was that maybe an adjustment he made from last week?
A little bit. He worked on a few things throughout the week. I think you got to look at that lineup, and they're a good lineup. They're hitting balls out of the stadium last weekend at a pretty regular basis, a lot of double-digit games, and, they seem to hit a fastball that's a mistake right down the middle pretty well. and they did that early in the game. And so he did a nice job of getting them off the fastball.
And then with Riley, you have never wavered from using him in these high leverage situations as a true freshman. But what point did you realize that he's got maybe a special makeup that would enable him to excel in those situations?
You know, really in recruiting, and that's the truth. I went and I saw him one time, and I was like, hey, it was like, we got to get this guy from my assistants, both of them at the time. Like, we got to get Riley Cooper. And I went and watched him, and I watched the stuff, and I was kind of like, he's pretty good. You know, he spins his breaking ball up there. He throws strikes. And then, but I had to go back for kind of a second look and a third look. And there was just something different with the competitiveness. I used to joke with him, he'd always give up a hit an inning, but nobody would ever score. And part of that was he was a strike thrower, and then part of it was his ability to bear down and limit damage in innings. And so he's got total poise, total control. He's a great competitor. And I've mentioned this before. If you look at his high school statistics, nobody crossed home plate, and really hadn't been that different in the situations we brought him in.
Brian Peterson, go ahead.
I believe you guys only struck out 4 times, and Ole Miss was coming in about 11, 12 per 9 innings. That's the fewest they've given up in a game. What was it in particular that your guys were doing? Were they just trying to foul off the close ones and just look for the best approach?
You know, I'll credit their focus. I'll credit their competitiveness. I'll credit their deliberate approach to what we were doing. And just, again, it's something I'm not surprised about. Excellent pitching staff. Both guys that they threw tonight have strikeout ability in Diamond and Myers. And then I'm missing the last guy's name. I think it's Johnson, actually. I mean, he's up to 97 miles an hour, so that's big-time stuff. Out of all 3 of those guys, I thought our guys just really competed really hard.
And so you'll be facing McKazy tomorrow, which comes with that strikeout reputation. Is it just a matter of continuing to take that same approach?
Well, I mean, he'll be the 3rd All-American pitcher that we've seen in the NCAA tournament. So, I mean, you know, Doug's a great competitor, great pitcher. You know, features, 4 pitches at times. And it'll be a good competitive battle, and we're going to have to be on it and be focused and competitive like we were tonight.
Thank you.
David Kelly, you're up.
I can't hear anything, David.
David, looks like you're having mic problems again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you are. Go ahead, David.
Okay. Just with Riley, to kind of elaborate on a couple of his big outs tonight, or ground ball out. Was that when you kind of think he would have that kind of ability in those high leverage situations to be able to keep the ball with him?
Yeah, he's an out collector. I thought he pitched down in the zone well with both his fastball and curveball, and that usually lends itself to ground ball outs. But he got some guys to get the ball off the end of the bat and fly out, and then down in the zone for some strikeouts as well. And he's an out collector and a good competitor, and you really can't get on him because he throws all his pitches for strikes. And I thought he did a great job tonight. Really, really proud of him, and there's no doubt he was going to be the guy, at that point, and we got him in there. It was maybe one time through the lineup earlier than I wanted to do it, but it was the right time. We had, seized back and got the game close, or tied the game, I believe, and then him executing it and getting out of that first and second no-out jam. I think it was the 4th or the 5th. I can't remember right now. That was really important. Chase got the first 2. Riley finished that off. Then we hit the homer and then did a nice job of collecting a couple more zeros. So really good job by him tonight.
And last question, we'll go back to Brian Peterson.
How did your game plan for the bullpen change with not having Gil and Randy available?
Yeah, I didn't really change in terms of how we were going to match up. I think you maybe look at going to a different guy than maybe we would have if those guys were available, and we didn't have them. So we went to a little bit different plan, and really credit to Chase getting us a few more outs than it looked like he was going to get us. I can't state how important that was. We just talked about Riley. I mean, that's 2 1/3 in the middle of the game right there. Just like he did last Friday, I thought it got the momentum back in our dugout, allowed our offense to do our thing, win the middle innings, and then you go right behind him with Dawson, who just keeps getting better every time he goes to the mound, and then Vince, being Vince at the end. So very proud of the way those guys pitched tonight.
Are you able to comment at all on their status?
Yeah, they're not available to play. I know this weekend. I know the athletic department made a statement earlier, and I don't really have anything else to say about it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Now joined by Tony Bullard. Sean Fagan, you're up first.
So Tony, you've been hitting a lot of home runs recently, especially in the tournament. Is there anything that you've changed about your batting stance or your hitting, or what would you credit to your sudden emergence of just hitting home runs all the time?
Yeah, my stance I got a little lower so I can use my legs a little more to generate that power, and I'm just swinging at strikes and not balls, honestly. That's what's really helping out.
And then after you hit the 2 home runs, at that third at bat, did you want that third home run because you nearly got it, but you still got the triple? But were you going up there thinking I want to try and hit a third one?
Oh, no, I'm never thinking that. I'm just trying to swing at good pitches, see the ball up, and put a good swing on it pretty much.
Michael Lev, go ahead.
Yeah, I asked this question of Jay, but do you feel like last Friday when you fell behind and were able to come back, and then previous rallies this season helped you guys tonight when you fell behind 3-0?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I know like everyone on this team are great competitors, and they grind no matter what's thrown in front of us. So I knew when we were down, we'd come back.
Sure. Jay said that he's always known that you've had this in you, but maybe it took a little bit of time for you to believe in yourself to the same level. Is that an accurate assessment?
Well, I believe in myself. It's just tough when I'm not getting the opportunities, but I'm glad I'm able to provide for the team and help the team win.
Sure. I think we've asked you about this earlier in the season, but what was your mindset and your mentality when you weren't starting regularly?
It obviously sucks, but I'm just, like I said, supporting the team. As long as we're winning, that's all I really care about, to be honest.
You've played probably, 50, 60 games at High Corbett Field. How would you describe the atmosphere and environment tonight?
Oh, it's electric. The fans are like another teammate, you could say, like the 12th man the Seahawks have, I think, in football. So, yeah, it makes us want to play more, and it gives us great energy to keep moving forward.
Go back to Sean Fagan.
So Tony, other than the offense, defense has been really clicking as recently, especially with the minimization of errors and a lot of double plays, especially with Nick and Kobe fielding the ball really well. How awesome is it to have seen the progression of the defense, that even with the offense getting so much runs, the defense minimizes the opponent as well?
Oh, it's great, and it definitely helps our pitchers out too, knowing that they can trust us out there with pop flies or ground balls. So being able to get those plays are huge for not only the pitchers but the entire team.
And then, as previously noted, you guys will be facing one of the best pitchers in the country tomorrow, especially known for strikeouts. So after coming off such a hot night as this of your offense, what is it you feel that you guys should keep doing to continue your success for tomorrow to close it out and then head to Omaha potentially?
Just sticking to our approach, not try to overthink it, and just keep going. Get our sleep tonight, eat well tomorrow, and keep going.
Back to Michael Lev.
Jay was saying that it was extremely important for Chase to extend his outing, and kind of keep you guys within striking distance. How big of a deal was that emotionally and psychologically for the team?
That's definitely huge, having Chase go those extra innings, because we don't have to use many other guys out of the bullpen. And like Skip said earlier, Coop came in and shoved it for 2.5 innings or whatever it was, and then Vince and Dawson did their thing as well. So it's amazing.
Sir Riley Cooper has pitched in a lot of high leverage situations as a freshman. What impresses you the most about his kind of demeanor out there?
Just how competitive he is and how he fills up the zone all the time. I feel like he's not afraid of anyone, and he just goes out there with 110% every day.
All right. Thank you, Tony. And we're joined lastly by Riley Cooper. Sean Fagan, go ahead.
Hey Riley, so that double play that you were part of in the top of the six it's something that's not a lot of pitchers can always do, and when they can, it's a useful tool to have. So I'm wondering, is the double play ball something that you work on a lot as a pitcher?
Yeah, I trust my defense behind me, and I just know to hit my spots, and it all plays out.
And then, like throughout the tenure of when you were pitching, you looked really comfortable on the mound. Like everything was just working. Like, do you like feel that just like you and Daniel were just like really like locked in at times?
Yeah, I feel a good connection with Dan. And we're pretty good friends, so yeah, we have a good connection, and it's just another game.
Brian Peterson, go ahead.
Yeah, you've been oftentimes the first guy out of the pen lately. And it was that way in the first regional game coming in for Chase. As this season's gone on and you've been getting those better opportunities, I mean, what do you think that says about what the coaches think of you?
I like to think they think of me good now, and I just love having the opportunity to go in and help the team win.
Is there anything in particular that you've changed with your throwing or with your approach in these last few weeks that has allowed you to get involved in more and more games?
No, I think it's just more of a mentality thing, just going in and being confident and trusting my defense behind me.
Thank you.
Michael Lev, go ahead.
So you enter the game there in the fifth inning. The score is tied. 2 runners on base. Huge crowd, big moment. What's your strategy or your mentality in that situation?
Just to play it like it's just another game, not try to put anything too much on it, and just go do what I'm supposed to do out there.
So is that hard to do given the circumstances?
No, I really trust my defense behind me, so it's just all about executing pitches and trusting everything that Yeski calls for us.
Sure. Jay said that your competitive demeanor really impressed him when he was recruiting you. Have you just always been a really competitive person?
Yeah, I think I've just always had it. Just growing up, playing with my older brother and stuff, just feel like that brought it out of me.
Sure. And how would you describe what the atmosphere was like at the stadium tonight?
It was great. Just the fans were going crazy, and we just loved playing for that.
Back to Brian Peterson.
This is the first chance we've had to talk with you this year, and I've been wanting to ask what the story is behind the tattoos on your forearms.
So I originally got that, or like was the mentality thing since freshman year of high school, and I got it from one of my favorite songs by Pantera, and it's just always been a mentality thing for me. And like I've always wrote on my cleats, and it's just it's like kind of just I'm all in, and this is what I want to do.
What is the statement again on them?
It says stronger than all.
Thank you.
Any more questions for Riley? Back to Michael Lev.
Have you ever seen a hitter who's hotter than Tony Bullard is right now?
I don't think so. It's pretty amazing to watch, and I'm 100% confident in him when he's in the box.
Sure. How important was it for Chase to get through some of those jams that he had early in the game and just kind of extend his outing a little bit?
It was huge, just so we could keep more in our pen for the next games coming up, and use least amount as possible, just so we have more arms for the games to come.
Sure. I know you're not allowed to comment specifically about Randy and Gil, but when you found out that they weren't going to be available, did the coaches come to you and say anything like your role is going to change, your role is bigger than it was before, anything like that?
No, it pretty much stayed the same. I know when my name is called to go do my best and execute for the team.
All right. Thank you all. That's all we have for tonight.